What's up, everyone? I'm Mischief, and thank you for joining me. Today we're going to talk about my hydration and treatment, my cook system, and my food storage for my Appalachian Trail through hike starting April 4th at Harper's Ferry. No boat. So yeah, let's get on into it. So first up, we're going to talk hydration. How I'm going to stay hydrated and not get dehydrated on the trail. I'm going to be carrying 2 1-liter smart water bottles. One will have the flip top on it. It's just easier to drink from when you're walking instead of having to take the lid off and get a drink every time. You can just flip the top, turn it up, and put it right back in your pocket. I only have one right now, but you get what I'm saying. Alright, for additional storage, I have the C-Knock Versica, and this is actually what I'm going to squeeze my water from through my filter. The reason I'm going with this instead of just another smart water or a 2-liter bladder, the 2-liter bladder I just don't need. I found last year I never carried more than 3 liters, and I never used more than 2 liters or so at camp. So I'm going to be using a 3-liter capacity, and then when I'm at camp, that'll leave me a full liter to get to the next water source. And I just found that's what's going to be working best for me. And the reason I'm using this instead of a smart water bottle, when you have your filter hooked to your water bottle, you only can squeeze it so far, and then you gotta twist the filter off a little bit to let air back in, and then squeeze it some more and do that again. With this, you don't have to do that. You can squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze, and then once you got a little bit of water left, you just press it down, and you never have to unscrew your filter to let air back in it. It's not, just doing it with the smart water bottle wasn't really that much of a pain, but I'm all about being efficient on trail, and this will make me a little bit more efficient. So this is what I'll be going with for my hike. Water filter. This is not my first choice of a filter. This is the Sawyer Micro, and I have a little cup one to hook to my water bottle. This, I know for a fact, will clog up on me after about a month of use. But my Sawyer Squeeze, the original one I had on the Iron Mountain Trail, I accidentally let it freeze. So once I got to Damascus, I had to pick up a new filter. And this is the only Sawyer they had. So I'm going to roll with it until it goes out on me, and then I'll pick up the original Sawyer Squeeze. So now let's talk about food storage and how I'm going to hang my food. For food storage, I have this bag from Hilltop Packs. It's custom printed with one of my favorite photos of me on it, and it's made out of 2.92 DCF. You give it a little bit more durability coming down from the branches and stuff, so it should last at least the whole through hike. But yeah, after testing it out, I can fit about 6.5 days of food in it. But with hiker hunger, it'll probably be more like 5.5 days of food. But time will tell. Just depends on how hungry I end up getting. Alright. For hanging my food, I have the Hilltop Packs Best Damn Rucksack. That's the name of it. And it's just more simple. You just have this little ribbon you pull, hook your carabiner to it, and throw it. You don't have to mess with a cord lock or any of that mess. I have 50 foot of Zingit and a little ultralight carabiner. So now let's talk about cooking. I freezer bag cook, and last year I was using a cozy made out of reflectance. It would keep my stuff warm, but as I was eating it, by the time I got about halfway down, it would start being a little bit cooler, and then by the time I got to the bottom, it was just cold. So after watching a bunch of reviews, I picked this up before I did the Iron Mountain Trail. This is the Hyperlight Mountain Gear Repack. And this thing is awesome. Like, just to show you how it works, I have a mountain house in here. This is a little tip. If you use mountain houses, don't carry that big bulky thing that's full of air. Take it out, put it in the freezer bag, and keep the little silica packet in there to keep it from going bad. Now, you can't do it long term like this. Its shelf life won't be like that. But from town to town, this works. But you just boil your water, and you only can do this with freezer bags. You just boil your water, throw it in there, stir it up, and a lot of people talk about how you get dry stuff still up in the corners. While you have water in there, before you put it in your cozy, take your finger and poke the corners in, and then shake it up, and you don't have no stuff stuck inside there. After that, just take it, put it in here, and hook it, and you just sit it somewhere out of the wind. On the Iron Mountain Trail, I used this, and it kept my food extremely warm. And we're talking when I was in temperatures in the low 20s and in the teens. I was eating my food, and it was hot all the way down to the bottom. This thing's a little pricey, but I wanted something that was more efficient. This really checks it off. Really happy with this. For a spoon, I have the Totes long handle with the polished bowl. I really prefer the polished bowl for one reason. It's just more pleasant to eat from. It's more natural to like what you would eat with at home, instead of having that little grainy kind of feeling all in your mouth. But yeah, Totes long handle spoon with polished bowl. I have the Evernew 900 milliliter pot. I keep it held together with a crossband from Lightsmith. Absolutely love this pot. I've been using it for about 3 years now, and it's the perfect size for me. I can boil where I freezer bag cook. I don't cook in my pot. I can boil enough water for my meal and for my coffee and hot chocolate mix I do at the end of each day. That way I only have to boil one time. And I use an alcohol setup. I keep my stove wrapped up in a light load towel that keeps it from rattling around inside the pot, and this is what I dry my pot out with. And if I get a lot of condensation in my tent, I can also use it for that. For stove, I use the Trail Designs Kojin. Awesome little stove. And the best thing about it, when you got it lit, you can accidentally kick it over or something, it's going to put itself out. It will not spill out. A lot of alcohol stoves, it gets knocked over, that fuel is going to go everywhere, and you're going to have a little fire on your hands. With this, no problem at all. It's my absolute favorite alcohol stove I've used. For windscreen, I use the Trail Designs Sidewinder cone, and I keep a little hairband around it to keep it held together, and it's made out of titanium and just hooks together. You take the top end and then push it down, and this is what makes this so efficient. It's made to fit my pot perfectly. It's made just for this setup, and it will boil water in about 2.5 to 3.5 minutes, depending on the temperature and how cold the water is and so on. But the main reason, like I've said before, the only reason I use alcohol instead of like a canister setup I just don't like the jet engine noise first thing in the morning when I'm making my coffee. I like the quietness of the alcohol setup. And the other reason I use alcohol, a lot of times I found on all the hikes I've done, sometimes it is extremely hard to find a canister. I use yellow heat, and I can buy that at any store, any gas station, anywhere. And I carry it in an 8-ounce flip top bottle from Lightsmith. And this works out perfect. I only use about a 1/2 ounce per bowl, and I get lighter as it goes. A canister, even with the small one, you're still carrying 8 ounces even after it's empty. When this is empty, I'll have all the weights on the screen, but it's only like 1 ounce. But yeah, that's my cook setup and how I'm gonna stay hydrated and keep my food. Hope y'all enjoyed the video, and yeah, I absolutely cannot wait to get my hike started. I'm getting antsy as can be. Right now it's March 1st and I have like 34 days left. It cannot get here soon enough. But yeah, I hope y'all all and have a good day, an even better night, and I will see y'all on the next one.